And that was the night that I reached my boiling point. You know, I decided I was going to go to my parents' house, and I brought along my first guitar that my father had given me, and it was in turn his first guitar that he'd ever bought. And as kind of a symbolic act, I smashed it right in the backyard, and I left a note saying, "I have broken free." And it meant to tell him, I don't ever want to see you again. When I was 25, I was in graduate school here at KU, and it was a few weeks into that semester that, you know, life happened. I had a final breakup with an old girlfriend, and just all these work responsibilities and school responsibilities just got to be too much.
Buddy has a tendency, and especially when he's in that phase, to get into something. And that's what he was doing with school. I mean, he was like, everything had to be perfect.
I just told myself, hang on, get through this. Just having that mentality is really what kind of pushed me over the edge.
He came over looking for me, and he knew I was in the house. And he starts confronting me in the living room, and he just grabbed me, and boom, that was it. He snapped.
Finally said, we have to call. We have to get some help here. And that's a hard thing to do. It's pretty tough to call the cops on your son.
I was taken to jail, charged with domestic battery, and my release was contingent upon getting some treatment at Osawatomie State Hospital. And it's at the hospital that I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. There really was a lot of resistance at first. Part of being involved with Bert Nash upon my discharge from the hospital was learning to cope with this and learning that acceptance of, okay, I do have this condition, it's not going away, but it can be managed. My relationship with my parents is great now. You know, we're a lot more open about things after being through that experience. There's just a real sense of gratitude for having them there, and I think that they're really glad that I'm doing as well as I am now. I know I wouldn't be in the same place I am without the help of Bert Nash. I really do feel as if I've got kind of a team behind me. You really don't know how strong you are until being strong is your only option.
I experienced just about every kind of abuse you can imagine. The first time I was actually raped, I was 12 years old. My mom happened upon the scene. I'm right there with torn clothes and everything, and told her what had happened to me, and she didn't believe me. She called me a whore and a slut, and I got grounded for 2 months. If my own mother didn't believe me, who was going to believe me? I have bipolar, and I have ADHD. I gotta say, there are times when it gets so tough that it's like I can't fix it. I don't know what to do.
Anytime you're talking about bringing up some of these dark memories to the light, it takes incredible courage, and Maggie has that. The reasons why it's important to address trauma is that when we can actually take it out and lay it out, we can try and look at it under a different light. It's important to go back to them so that we can correct that.
Then when I moved to Douglas County, my daughter and a couple other people told me about Bert Nash because I didn't know what was here. So they hooked me up with Tanner, and we are an amazing fit. We did 3 different traumas, and now I have the know-how that when I have traumas from my past other ones, I know how to get through the therapy by myself. The abuses kind of becomes just a piece of your history, and it's no longer something that rules you. I have a ongoing weight loss thing for a little over a year in the apartments where I live. I created and was leading a Living Healthy support group, and we would share healthy recipes.
It's been incredibly rewarding to me to get to see Maggie on her journey. She just has a beautiful spirit, and getting to see her get freer, it's meant a lot to me. It's added a lot to my own life, you know. That's what makes the job worth it.
Without Bert Nash, I wouldn't have the level of sanity that I have now. And I look forward to the level of sanity that I'm going to have in the future because of all the things that I've learned and practiced through Bert Nash. It's important.
I've always just been really interested in art because it's something that can invoke emotions in somebody else. It's also a platform for me to express myself, how I'm feeling, what's going on in my head. And I can put it on canvas, put it on paper, or create something that's unique, that's a physical manifestation of a feeling or thought. I was born with agenesis of the corpus callosum, which is the nerve connecting the two halves of the brain. People with that condition, it's on the autistic spectrum, and more often than not, there's nonverbal learning disabilities and problems processing associated with that condition. So I always felt kind of out of place, like I didn't really belong. If somebody said, oh, you're a dork or you're kind of nerdy, I kind of just internalized all that and took it personally and took it to heart and based my opinion of myself on feedback I got from others. There were times I made a series of bad decisions, found myself in a bad situation, and then thought, nobody cares about me, there's no hope, and then feeling so overwhelmed and so crushed by these negative self-defeating thoughts that I couldn't think of another way out. When I came to Bert Nash, it was pretty dark. It was pretty dismal. But just opening my ears and listening to the things that I learned, it kind of helped me see the other side of the coin. It took a really long time for me to realize that I had strengths too. Now I'm on the board of a nonprofit art gallery. I found that the busier I stay and the more I try and help somebody else, then those are things that I can build positive experiences on. I really think it takes a lot of strength to admit that we need extra help. It's not necessarily a weakness at all to reach out and ask for that extra support. That's why I really appreciate Bert Nash. It really changed my life perspective. And so I thank you, Bert Nash, for giving me the opportunity to experience just a little bit of restoration of hope.